everybody.
Hello, welcome
Well,
back.
today's episode, which I believe we mentioned in the last episode, maybe, we decided to watch one of each other's favorite shows, just the first episode.
Yes.
And so I naturally picked Supernatural. Kacie picked Attack on Titan because I have not watched, I would say, a single episode of anime in my life, but that's not necessarily true. But I haven't watched like a TV series of
Yeah.
anime.
hmm
Okay, so we're going to start with Attack on Titan in this episode. Now, again, I didn't ask you, and I probably should have in the beginning. Am I supposed to be watching the subtitled version of Attack on Titan or the dubbed version of Attack on Titan?
I mean, it's kind of just like a personal preference. I prefer it in the
Mm-hmm.
subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I watch anime. I'm not a huge fan of Aaron's dub voice actor. So, it's a little hard to watch in dub. But I mean, I've watched both, but yeah, it's really up to you.
Okay, I watched the subbed version because I
Okay.
know other anime fanatics because I normally watch the dubbed version of stuff. Like I watched the dubbed version of Squid Game on Netflix.
Mm.
And I was talking to my friend Diego one time, and he's like, that was like the first question when we started talking about this show was like, did you watch it subbed or dubbed? And I
Sub or
was like,
dub.
yeah. And I was like, dub. And he's like, oh no, you gotta watch it subbed so you get like the actual actors, like voices and stuff.
hmm
And I was like, yeah, I guess that's true. I guess I could have done that. But most of the time when I'm watching something, I'm listening to it. I'm not necessarily watching it all the time, so I
Yeah.
I don't speak any other language besides English. So that would be
Yeah.
kind of hard to listen to Attack on Titan if it's subbed.
Yeah,
Uh
there was one time I was watching an anime and I remember like the subtitles like weren't working for some reason and I watched like 5 minutes and I was like I have no idea what they said. Now I have to start it over because I'm watching it like I
you're like,
understand
what
it,
is
but I'm like
happening? You're like,
but
I
yeah,
can
no,
do
I like
this, and then you get a few minutes and you go, nope.
yeah, I'm like oh, I just don't know what's going on.
Okay, so first impressions of Attack on Titan. Now I know like the gist of Attack on Titan because I have friends that watch it, and obviously it was a big pop culture thing
hmm
for a while.
Yeah.
Like I remember because I watch a lot of like UK YouTubers and some Japanese YouTubers, and everything was Attack on Titan and Yuri on Ice for a
Oh,
while.
yes. Love Yuri on Ice.
So like I know the gist, and I've seen most of the Titans and stuff like that. And the theme song is amazing. I love
Yes.
the theme song. It's so epic, and like even before like watching anything Attack on Titan, every time it comes on, like friends playing and stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, I love this song.
Yeah,
So
that is
good.
definitely I have, like, a playlist of just because anime intros are really just something else. I
Yeah.
have a whole playlist of anime intros, and I have quite a few Attack on Titan ones in there.
So let's see. First episode, I'm trying to think. I mean, like it's like nothing happens, but a lot happens.
Yeah.
What's Aaron's? I'm assuming it's his sister. What's her name? I
It's
can't
like
remember
his,
what her name is. Or is it like
her
best
name
friend
is
or something?
yeah, her name is Mikasa.
Mikasa. She's amazing so far.
Mhm.
Because I love when he's like, there was like, I think it's towards the end of the episode where there's one kid getting like bullied, and like Aaron runs up, like, yeah, I'm gonna beat you. And then as soon as she shows up, they're like, oh no, oh shit, she's
Yeah.
here, gotta go.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Mikasa's a
yes,
badass.
yes, she is. And I love she's just like quiet. And then, except for when he wants to join, what is it, oh, what are they called?
The Survey Corps?
Yeah,
Survey
and
Corps? Yeah.
she tells his parents, and they're all like, "Oh my God, what do you mean?" I'm like, "Ooh, that's too real. That's too real there." I also like that this city built a giant wall, and then the like, I guess regular size Titans are just like walking around naked outside.
Yeah.
And they're just like there, like literally when they showed the outside of the wall, I was like, why is there naked people outside?
They're
And then
just
I
chilling.
realized, yeah, they're just because they're just like wandering around, and I'm like, that's kind of weird, but maybe that's why they built the wall to keep the naked people out. And then I realized like once the like super giant Titan broke through the wall, because like it shows you like him peeking over the wall, and I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, that's a Titan. But like, why did they think that wall would be big enough? And then I realized they were building it to keep like the smaller Titans out. And then this
Yeah.
guy's just like quadruple the
Massive.
size. I'm like, oh my God, that'd be terrifying. There was so much carnage in the first episode.
Yeah,
There's
so
just blood everywhere.
when I first watched this episode, I my friend had suggested it to me and I was like, "Okay, I'll give it a shot." And yeah, the it's very brutal the first like especially with Aaron's mom. I was like, "What
Devastated.
what is this? What? This is the first episode? Like
Yeah, and
spoilers if you haven't seen Attack on Titan. The first episode Aaron's mom gets eaten by a titan. Just straight up.
yeah, yeah, just like, shrimp it up. You just whoop right into his mouth. And I'm like, and like it was I first I thought he was gonna tear her in half and then eat her like that, and then he didn't. He just like put her entirety
Yeah.
in his mouth.
Just
And then
yeah.
when he chomped down on her and there was just blood everywhere. Like, and
Yeah,
it
it
was,
was
don't
it
get me wrong,
was
it was
brutal.
beautiful. But
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my God, she's been like smashed by giant molars. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm
Yeah.
scarred for life. And I haven't even seen the worst of it yet, I assume.
Yeah, it definitely gets a lot worse. It's definitely like if you do end up watching the whole thing, it takes you on a roller coaster ride. But I feel
Yeah.
like the first episode really sets the tone of like, what is this? Like,
Yeah.
okay, so we're just gonna just jump right into it. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Cool.
there's no like dipping your toes in or anything like that. It's just like bam, origin story, mom is dead, dad is probably dead. We watched her get eaten along with a bunch of other people get eaten or smushed.
Yeah.
Just like, jeez.
Also, like extremely terrifying. If I were to see a titan, I would be terrified.
I yeah, I mean, and again, like I didn't realize the scale of like I guess the smaller titans or the regular sized titans or whatever we want to call them. I literally thought they were human size at first, and
Yeah.
then it showed an actual human, and I went, "Oh no, those are big guys. They're big." And then Mr. Monstrosity peeking over the wall. I'm like, "Oh no." Like I get wanting to be like safe behind a wall,
Hmm.
but like that also traps you inside there,
Yeah.
and you have nowhere to run if like all the people just didn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, being inside that wall. Um, I mean, if you like, you find out later, but it's Attack on Titan is one of those like crazy animes where you think you know what is going on and then you actually don't. I have watched it. I'm like fully caught up, fully everything, and I still have to like Google stuff sometimes because I'm like, I'm confused, but it's so good.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So, is there any explanation as to why, like, some Titans are 3 times the size of others, or is that just like, do they just come in a variety?
Yeah, so I think it's this season, maybe. You find out later on.
Mm.
But like the Titans that broke the wall are like different than the ones that are just kind of chilling on the outside.
And like the ones that are just like chilling on the outside, do they just like roam around until they find something to eat and then eat it and then just continue roaming around?
Basically. Basically.
Okay.
They're just kind of chilling.
Yeah.
They're just just hanging out. Giant
Yeah.
humanoids just hanging out.
Yeah, I do like that a lot of them like are looking at the wall and are just like, it smells like food on the other side, but I don't know how to get over there.
Yeah, they're like, let me in, please.
What else can we talk about for Attack on Titan? I was very excited to see again, limited knowledge of Attack on Titan, but the little like green cloak with the little symbol on the
Yeah.
back.
Mhm.
I like that that pretty much immediately appeared, and I was like, I know what that is. I've
You're like,
seen
"I
that in Hot
recognize that."
Topic. Yeah, it's like all
Like,
the
it's all
Hot
coming
Topic merchants
together.
making sense.
Like, I get it now. I actually have one of those.
Yeah.
It's a blanket, but it is like
Amazing.
yeah, it's like the green little cloak, and then it's got a hood, and I used to wear it, every Sunday when Attack on Titan, like, the last season aired, and,
Yeah.
I could get made fun of, but you know what?
You
I'm
know
cool.
what? Amazing. I love that for you. So, who is your favorite character in Attack on Titan? And when do they appear, if it's not
That's a hard
anybody in the beginning?
question. That is a hard question. So I have a couple of favorite characters.
Mhm.
Um, my like original fell in love with first character, his name is Levi Ackerman. He
Ah,
is
I've heard that
yeah.
name.
Yeah. He's a very popular one amongst
Yeah.
the Attack on Titan fandom.
He's
Um
the one with the like super cool haircut, right? He's got like a
yeah.
certain
Mhm.
haircut that everybody wants.
Yeah. Like, so when I first watched it, I was like, "Levi, I love Levi, I love Levi," but I also like, Hanji, she'll show up later too,
Okay, I've
and
heard that
then
name before too.
I think so I it's been a minute since I watched, like, the first season, but
Yeah.
when the kid that's getting beat up, it's a little blonde kid,
Yeah.
right? With, like,
Uh-huh.
a bowl
Yeah.
cut?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Armin, and I love him so much. I would say those are, like, my top 3 favorite characters,
Nice.
Armin, Levi, and Hanji.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to I think I will watch at least season 1.
Mhm,
Um, because for one, the art style is beautiful.
mhm.
I like it's just so cool to see. I don't watch a lot of animated stuff anymore, which is a shame. I really should get into that again. Um, but again, it reminds me of kind of like a Studio Ghibli-esque kind of thing, except Studio Ghibli is about making everything beautiful and
Yeah.
fun despite tragedy, and this is like just like straight up like tragedy,
Just
just the
yeah,
whole
it's
way at all
basically
times.
tragedy. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of, like it's really good, and it definitely keeps you on your toes, but it is a lot of, like, I have cried many times watching Attack on Titan, like, they and it's so ridiculous. So, right now, they're in their has been they started, what, I think 2013 was when the first episode came out,
Mhm.
the first season, and so they're on season 4 right now, and the way they did it, it's making a lot of Attack on Titan fans mad, but they had
Ooh.
so season 4 part 1,
Yeah.
and then last year they had season 4 part 2, and then this year they released season 4 part 3 part 1. So it was like
Oh
yeah.
my
So
god.
it was just one, like, long episode, and then they were like, "All right, we'll see you in the fall for the final." Like, I'm
That's
just like,
worse than when they split the last like
"Yeah,
movie in
I
a book series
know."
in two. That's so much worse. Oh my god, I am
Yeah, I'm
so
like
sorry.
season 4 has been going on for, like, 3 years now at this point, like, it's insane, and when they announced, like, the part 3, people were like, "Okay, like, it makes sense, there's still, like, quite a bit left," and then they were like, "There's gonna be 2 parts in the 3rd part, and we're gonna release them separately," so, like, the first one aired in, like, March or something, and then I think the
Yeah.
second one is gonna be in August, but I'm like,
Oh
"Come
my
on, I just wanna watch
god.
it."
That's
Like
so now, do you know why they're doing that? Is it just like a production thing? Is it just a to build drama and suspense thing? Do you know?
I have no idea. Like, I think it's they're trying to follow like the length of the actual manga, but like
Oh.
the last part of it is like a pretty big part of the manga, and
Mhm.
they we're definitely not gonna be able to fit it all into, like, the part 2, which I get. So I'm assuming it's because it's, like, it's not long enough to be its 3rd, like, a whole other part to where they have to I don't know,
Oh,
it's just, like I'm just like,
yeah.
Can we finish this?" It'll be 100 years from now, and then it'll be
And
finished
it'll be like,
probably.
it'll be the final part this summer, and you're like,
Yeah.
gosh, dang it.
I'm gonna be, like,
Oh my
55 and being
gosh.
like, "When is Attack on Titan gonna end?" Um,
Never. The answer is never.
never.
Oh.
But they actually changed animation studios. I'm, like, a huge, nerd about this, so
Oh.
the first 3 seasons are all animated by, an animation studio called WIT,
Mhm.
and, they did a really good job on the animation style. There's some scenes in there that it, like I don't even like, cinematography of the
Mhm.
animation is so good, and WIT did,
Yeah.
like, an amazing job with some of that, and then when they switched to part 4, it's kind of like it's a time jump, so I think it's, like, 4 years forward in part
Oh.
4 from part 3,
Yeah.
or in season 4, and, they switched to MAPPA, which is my all-time favorite animation studio, and MAPPA has, like, a very different style of animating, so when you watch it, it's
Mm.
kind of weird, but it works well because they,
Because of the
um
time skip.
'cause of the time jump, like, it works well.
Yeah.
Personally, I like it. I'm not a huge fan when animes, like, switch animation studio in the middle of
Yeah.
it, but, I think that in this case, it was good. So, if you watch all the way through, just know, like, in season 4, you're gonna be like, "W They look
You're like,
different."
what is happening? Why is it
Yeah, what is
different?
going
Yeah.
on? But
Kind of
do
like
you
when
have
TV series like switch
Yeah.
studios when it goes from like Netflix or it goes from like TV to Netflix or vice versa, and you're just like, whoa, whoa. There's differences. There's different like camera techniques, different scripts, and you're just like, what is happening? And then you read about it switching, and you go, oh, okay.
You're like, "Oh,
I
okay.
guess
Well,
that's
that
fine.
makes sense."
As long as it continues, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I know you only watched the first episode, but do you have a
Mhm.
favorite of the ones you've seen?
What's her name? I've already forgot her name.
Mikasa?
Mikasa. Mikasa is my favorite just because she's hilarious and I love her.
Yeah.
I also like that when because they were like collecting like firewood or whatever, and the mom was like, "Wow, you've collected so much, Aaron," and he's like, "Yeah, I did," and she's like, "Mikasa helped you, didn't she?" She's like, "Yeah, maybe I did some of it," and she's like, "Mm-hmm, I'm sure."
Just like, yeah, okay. Yeah, Mikasa's a really good character. She's got,
I
like,
feel
really
like
good
she's the
character
mom
development.
friend. I feel like she's
Yeah,
the
she's
mom
like you.
friend.
She's you.
Maybe that's why I like her.
You're
Just
like,
like
"I relate."
I see you, Mikasa. I see you, and I feel your pain for having to carry the weight of everything.
I feel like, yeah, you're definitely, like, on Mikasa's level, whereas I'm like Aaron, and I'm just kind of like, "Da-da-da."
But I also like too that it brought up the fact that Aaron wants to join. What is it called? The I'm gonna call it the military. Um,
Yeah. It
in order,
basically is the
yeah,
military.
in order to see the world. And everybody's like,
Mhm.
"How could you? No, you can't. It's scary out there." And I feel like that even though we don't really live in a world that has like physical walls like they do, it's definitely still relevant to a lot of young people who want to leave their hometown. But their
Mhm.
parents are always like, "It's dangerous out there. You can't go." And you're like, "You know what? I'm gonna go anyways."
Yeah. At least we don't have giant titans that are gonna try
That
and
would
eat
be
us.
so scary. I was trying to imagine like the scale of just like the little titans.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's like literally a skyscraper. It's like the Empire State Building walking around
Yeah.
as a full being. And it was like,
Right. A full naked being.
yeah, like no, 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 no. That's I don't like it. I couldn't do it. But I also wouldn't want to live in a city with walls. So
Yeah.
you got to pick your
It's
poison,
catch
I guess.
22. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's definitely yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite animes. It's so good. It's just it's crazy because you're like, I'm sorry, what? Like, there's definitely, like, points where I'm like, "I don't know what just happened." Like,
Yeah.
but it's so good and so complex, and I I love it. It's so good. 10 out of 10.
And then in the beginning the like scout troop like comes back, and the one when the scout leader's like basically like screaming in the street that he hasn't been a good leader and that he's just led so many soldiers to their death. And I'm like, dude, why are you shouting that in the street? First of all, you're gonna just scare everybody. Um, and then the one mom like comes forward and was like, "Where is my son?" And then they hand her the like wrapped package, and I'm like,
Mhm.
"It's gonna be like a hand or like a foot or something." And it was the dude's arm. I'm like, Why would you bring that to her?"
You're like,
Like,
"Here you go.
I
This is
don't
all
know
that's
if
left."
yeah, this is all that's left, but like, I don't know as a mom if I would want that. Like, I
Yeah,
just
I
bring me like his jacket or like something of his. Don't bring me whatever's left of him. It was like, bleh.
yeah, like,
And she
I don't want
opened
that.
it in the middle of the street. I'm like, why are you
Yeah,
guys doing all of this in the street, like in
it's
front
a
of
public
people? Oh,
display.
yeah, I'm
Right.
like, no.
It's very intense at moments, and, like, that first episode, like I said, like, when I watched it, I was like, "What the heck?" Like, "Oh, the Titan just ate Aaron's mom. Okay. Alright, so
Yeah,
that's what we're doing here. Alright,
yeah.
that's cool."
Like, okay, cool,
Um,
nice.
yeah, it's like, "Oh, we're not gonna have, like, a little slow start. We're just
Yeah.
jumping right into it." Like, "Alright, okay, got it."
Yeah, and honestly, at first, I thought that we were gonna just watch her slowly die as she tells Aaron and Mikasa to just like run. I'm like, oh, now we're gonna see her die. But then like she laid there and then cried, and I'm like, oh God, her death is gonna be
Yeah.
so slow. And then the Titan comes out of nowhere and goes, oh, a snack, and I'm like, what?
Like, "Oh,
No!
what is happening here?"
Oh my
And
gosh!
then
And
Aaron had
then
to watch the whole thing too, which is, like,
I
awful.
know. And the like soldier dude that like came to like get them, I like the fact that he
Mhm.
was like, "No, I'm gonna fight off this Titan and save your mom." And then he got like two steps in and went, "Actually, kids,
It's like,
let's go," and just like ran
yeah,
off. I'm
yeah.
like,
I'm like, "At
"Oh
least
my
turn Aaron
God."
around." Like,
I
he has to watch the
know.
whole
Or
thing, like,
try to shield his eyes or something.
yeah, something, but
There's so many like streets that dude could have turned down to just like get that whole scene out of Aaron's view. And he's just like, nah, you
yeah.
can watch it all. It's fine.
He's like, "You're just gonna watch the whole thing, it's fine. Just
Yeah.
enjoy the show."
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be great. And then it'll build character.
I mean,
Oh
it
my
definitely does.
gosh.
Definitely will build some character in Aaron. He's is interesting. Um, but yeah.
Now, does Aaron become like a character you like, or does he just become increasingly annoying?
That's a really difficult question because I it's so hard to answer because of the, like, complexity of the show, because
But it
Aaron
goes
is
back and
like
forth then. So,
yeah, so, like, I like him, throughout the anime, but I also, like, love the other characters,
mhm.
and in order to like the other characters, I feel like you kinda have to not like Aaron, but, like,
Mm.
it's just it's kinda difficult, but he's definitely, like, got a very interesting personality for sure. Um,
Yeah, because I
but,
feel like
like
with like main characters, you can either become like a Harry Potter essentially where you always like them. Sometimes they can be stupid, which is fine because everybody is, but you like them for the most part. Or it can be the opposite where they just get more annoying as the show progresses. And you're like, okay,
yeah.
I know you're the main character, but I need you to go away.
Yeah, can you just be a side character for now?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely, like I like Aaron, I for the most part, like but I also just I like the other characters more, like Armin, that's my little baby. He's so
Mm,
cute with his little bowl cut.
I know.
He's so cute. I love him so much. I actually have so they made a like not a parody, but like a spin-off show kind of, and it's super funny. It's called Attack on Titan Junior High. And basically, it's so funny. They only made one season of it, which made me sad, but they took the show and basically made everybody in junior high,
Yeah.
and they are basically like their quirks and everything. So like there's a character, it's not like a huge spoiler, but there's a character, her name is Sasha. She's
Mhm.
loves food. That's her main thing in the show is she's always hungry. And so in the junior high version, they basically made her like hungry times 100 and like loves food times 100. Um, but and so in the junior high version, there's Titans, but they eat the lunches of the
Oh,
kids
uh-huh.
instead of
Instead of the kids.
yeah, instead of the kids, they just take their lunches. And it's so funny. But I have Armin from the Attack on Titan junior high version tattooed on me because I love him so much.
Oh, how cute. Is that the only Attack on Titan tattoo you have?
No, I have one other one. So there's like an important key in I don't know if they talked about it in the first episode. It might be like later on, but there's like a
Mhm.
key um
Is
to
that the one that's
something.
supposed to be to the basement that the
Yes, the
dad was gonna
basement
show
key.
Aaron? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I'm like, I can't remember if it's in like because the episodes are so short, so I'm like, I don't remember
Yeah.
what episode it's in. But I have the
Mhm.
basement key tattooed on me. I think that's all of
Oh.
them. Yeah. I think that's all the Attack on Titan ones. I just have a bunch of other anime tattoos.
Yeah, the dad is very mysterious, like
Mhm.
in this first episode because I mean, obviously they talk about him because he's a doctor.
Mhm.
Um, and then like he comes home and he looks very like unassuming, like he's just in like normal dad clothes.
Yeah.
And then like when Aaron, expresses the fact that he wants to join the army or what military, whatever it's called, um, and he's like, you know what? I think it's time for you to see something in the basement, but we're not going to do it until I get back from that trip. And I'm like, ah, Dad, come
You're like,
on.
okay, thanks.
Yeah, and then the house is destroyed, mom is dead, and I'm like, wait, but what about the basement?
What about the basement? I need to know what's in the basement. Spoiler, you won't find out for a very long time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, rude.
I think it's
Oh my
like
gosh.
I think it's season 3 when you find out.
Dang, they waited a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, it's there's just like there's so much of the show like you think you know what's happening and then you're like I don't know what's happening anymore.
You're like,
That
I've
is
given up on
basically.
trying to keep it together, and we're just gonna let it be whatever it is.
Yeah, I had to like look up a timeline of the show once because I was like I'm confused. I'm so
I have to do
confused.
that all the time because I'm
Yeah.
just like, especially when they get flashback happy, and
Oh
I'm just
yeah.
like, okay, this is like the third flashback in this episode, but I don't even know what time period the current, quote unquote, current period is supposed to be. So yes, I have to do that with like Marvel movies and stuff too because
Yeah.
like certain movies they didn't get the green light to start filming and stuff until after, but it's actually supposed to be in between different movies, and I'm just like, I don't know what time, like, because sometimes I'll watch Marvel movies in release order, and then sometimes I'll want to
Yeah.
watch it in timeline order, and I always have to look up timeline order because I never remember. There's
Well,
certain
yeah, the
ones
Marvel
that I
movies
get
are
confused.
just a whole different level of like
Yeah.
complexity. You're like, I want to watch this, but now I have to watch 10 other movies before I understand what's going
Yeah.
on here.
Yeah, or you can just be like my mom who just enjoys the
She's just
movie
there
as
for
it
the
is.
she's just there
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
And she'll ask occasionally because I will make a face or I'll gasp or I'll laugh and she's like, "Have we seen this person before?" And I'm like, "Yes, they are this person. This is their name and this is the movie they were in previously and they're a bad guy or they're a good guy." That's all she needs to know. And then she goes, "Okay," and goes back to enjoying the movie.
Yeah, she's
Um,
just along for the ride.
yeah, she's just like, "This is cool and this is fun." And I'm like, "Yeah, she's my you want to go see it at, the day it comes out, I'll go with you." And I'm like, "Cool," even though she doesn't know what's happening. It's all good.
That's a good you know.
Yeah.
That's what you need. You need somebody that's like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Yeah. Just like when we talk to each other about stuff and we're just like, "Yeah, that's really cool. I've never seen that show, but awesome." Which is
Yeah.
exactly why we're doing this because
If you like it, then I like it.
yeah, and it's fun. But yes, I am excited to get into the rest of the season for Attack on Titan. I feel like I should watch through season 1 and then we'll have another recap of all the
Mhm.
trauma you've caused me.
Yeah. When I got into the show,
Mhm.
I obviously didn't know like what it was going to be now, and my friend that got me into it, I was like, "Why would you do that to me? Like that hurt. Like I have cried so many times watching this show. What did you do to me?" I'm
You broke me.
like, "I suggest wholesome, sweet animes, and this is what I get."
And she's like devastation
Yeah.
only. Like, oh
Like it's
my
all just downhill from here. Episode 1 and then it's just downhill.
god. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we'll have to do a recap once you finish season 1 and
Yes.
see, and then you'll have to tell your other friend. They're like, "I watched
Yeah.
this."
Yeah, I'm gonna be so excited. I'm gonna jump on one of Wyatt's streams one day and go, guess what I watched? And he'll be like, wow, congratulations, you're about 500 years late, but I'm glad you got there.
Yeah, it's fine.
But
It's
he'll
fine.
he'll be
You know what?
proud.
Here's the thing. The season's not the series isn't even over yet. So like
Yeah,
you
so
got
I'm joining
time.
before it's over. Yeah, it's great.
Exactly. Like you didn't finish it when it ended. Like you didn't start it when it ended. Like it's still going on.
Yeah, that's true.
10
I did
years
the same
later.
thing with Supernatural. Supernatural I didn't start watching until season 10, I think. So I missed a majority of the beginning of Supernatural. Um but, the obsessiveness I've had for the last few years has made up for that. So maybe I'll do that with
Yeah.
Attack on Titan. I missed the beginning, but then I will be utterly obsessed and it'll make up for it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all works out.
Yeah, and then we'll see by the end of season 1 how many Funko Pops I end up with for Attack on Titan. I'm gonna send you
Yeah,
Amazon links and be like, Kacie, for Christmas, I need this.
I don't even know how many. I have so many Attack on Titan ones.
You have so many pops in general, but yes,
I do. I do. It's a problem.
it is, and I caused it, and I'm
You
only
did.
half sorry. Only
You
half
did.
sorry.
But you're catching up to me pretty quickly though. Like you have a lot more
Yeah,
than the last time I was there.
yeah. I mean, I built a shelf above my window, and it's full. It's got two whole rows plus all the little ones in front. And then I normally have I have a cabinet in my room that has stacks of them as well, and that is also currently full.
Yeah.
So if I get any more, I don't know where they're gonna go.
Where the yeah.
And every once in
Yeah,
a
I used
while,
to
my dad comes in and he goes, you can just pack those away if you want. And I'm like, that's not the point of
yeah,
having
I want
them.
to look at them. Duh.
Yeah, but I don't even have any wall space as it is, and now that Funko Pops are stacked high, I have even less wall space. So
And they just keep
they're
coming out with more and more and
and they're
more.
so cute,
Yeah, and I'm like, I
so
love
cute.
them. I like this show. I like collectibles. I have a
Yes,
problem. Please get me away from them. I
yeah, and
also,
it's
well, I mean, it also helps that
so
I don't work
easy.
at Hot Topic anymore, because
That's
when I
very
did
true.
work there, that was
Oh,
that was a problem.
yeah, yeah, for sure. But they're so easy to collect because, like, if
Yeah.
you like a particular character or a particular show, but you don't want, like, I have 10,000 billion T-shirts, and I
Mhm.
really don't need any more T-shirts. So Funko, not that I need any more Funkos now, but Funkos was a nice way to collect stuff from shows and movies that I liked, but not necessarily buying a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Um, and I like the style of Funko too,
Mhm.
because I remember I talked with Wyatt one time because he used to collect Funkos, and now he's not collecting Funkos anymore. But he's like, yeah, that's kind of like the cheap way to collect figurines from shows, and I'm like, I know, that's why I collect them because they're the cheap way to do it,
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
smaller, and because like if you don't get me wrong, there's many beautiful collectible statues out there, but I don't have shelf space for that.
And
And
they're
Funkos,
expensive.
and they're expensive, and Funkos stack nicely on top of each
Mhm.
other, and they're cheap.
Yeah, unless you get like
And
the weird big box ones. Like every once in a while they'll have like the weird ones and I'm like, I don't know what to
yeah,
do with this one. Like I have a giant Eevee pop. It's
uh-huh.
just at the top of my shelf cuz I'm like it's so big I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, I have a couple big ones. The main ones that are kind of weird shaped are I have a couple of where it's the Funko that comes with like the vehicle they drive.
Yeah.
Because like I have Sam and Dean, and I have Ron Weasley, and so they're like slightly horizontal boxes, but they're taller than like the average Funko box.
Mhm.
So like they don't meld nicely in with my collection, so those are just like stacked with each other off to the side.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a couple of weird ones or like what are they? The 6-inch ones?
Oh,
Like, so
yeah.
not like the really big ones, but like the
They're like
medium
medium.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have like a couple of those and I'm just like, you can be on your own over here,
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
have
I
one
don't know
of
what to do with
those.
you.
And again, they're slightly taller than like a normal Funko box, so it doesn't help with the stacking. I also have a couple like horizontal Funkos. So
Mhm,
it's like
same.
a regular Funko size but horizontal, and I'm just like, could you guys just not do that?
Yeah,
Could
like
you
the
guys just
Grogu
stack a
ones.
bit nicer? Yes, the Grogu ones, and then you
Yeah.
got me a Dean one that has him laying sideways, and then I have in the shorts with his dodgeball, and then I have Blue and Beta from Jurassic World.
Oh, yeah, I think I have
Um,
blue also. They're
yeah,
kinda weird
and they're
boxes.
yeah they're sideways, and I'm just like, it's not very helpful for stacking. But
And
yeah,
they're
we'll see
itty
if I end
bitty.
up with some Attack on Titan Funko Pops.
I mean, I wouldn't blame you. I mean, I might be the same way by the end
Yep.
of our little switcheroo. We might just end up getting more
Yep, just
collectibles.
feeding the addiction. So yeah, look forward to me ripping through season one fairly
Yeah.
quickly then. I didn't even look. Is there a lot of episodes per season?
I think the first
Because you said it was like
season
12 or 15 or something, right? It was under
yeah,
20?
I think the first season I think is the shorter of the 2 or of all of them. Let me check
Hmm.
here. Oh, the first season is 25 episodes.
Oh, okay. So kind of
Yeah.
average show length,
And then the
at least for
second
me.
season is the second season is the shorter one. And then I think it goes back to another 25. And then part season 4 is just all over the place. That one's that one's all over the place. I don't even know how many are in that one.
So we're gonna end this episode here.
But there'll
Don't
be a
forget,
part 2 for
yes,
my
part two.
episode.
Yes, I made Kacie watch Supernatural. You watched the first episode, right?
Yes.
Um, she procrastinated on her homework, which is not surprising in the least. She watched it as
Yeah,
I was
we're not
trying.
surprised.
We watched it. She watched it as I was trying to figure out our podcast setup for today. So I'm glad you were able to watch it,
Yeah.
and it's fresh in your mind. To be
Yeah,
honest, I
exactly.
probably should have rewatched the first episode, because I have not done my yearly rewatch of Supernatural yet. Um, But the only bad thing is I watch like when I rewatch TV shows, I just let them play, so I never know
Yeah.
where episodes end.
Yeah.
I just let it like continuously play, and then Netflix will ask me 5 billion times, "Are you still watching?" And the answer is always yes.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm still here.
so tune in for next episode. We're talking about everything supernatural related, so you're gonna hear me fangirl a lot. Don't forget to do all of the podcasting things. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, share amongst the internet. You can follow us on Instagram, which is two nerds underscore in underscore a underscore pod, I believe.
Yes.
There's a lot of
Something like that.
underscores in there.
If we can
So
figure out how to link it, we'll link it in there.
yeah, well, there'll be something somewhere. I'm sure also if you just like Google two nerds and a podcast, we should pop up theoretically.
Mhm.
And then you can always look again if you follow us on Instagram. I have a YouTube channel, Jamie Throws Confetti, which always has everything linked, so you could also find us there. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.